Dr. Eve here. Hope all is well. Welcome to another Living Well is a Lifestyle vlog. Today, y'all, we're going to be talking about trellising ideas. I have done my audit for the morning and I am actually very pleased with the progress of my garden. And I am looking for trellising ideas because things are growing upwards, 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 upwards. And we love that for us, right? So today I'm looking at trellising ideas for my tomatoes, for my cucumbers, my squash, and yeah, and any other growing upward bound um, fruit that'll be growing in the garden this year. So we are super excited about the ideas that have been put in place because they are actually working, like my grapevine. So my grapevine, I built an arbor this year and now it's trellising beautifully up this arbor. And so as you can see though, it's still because it's been allowed to breathe and it's growing upward now. So it's growing up, up, up. So we're going to have to think about connecting it now to I'm gonna have to put in place another row of lumber. These little babies right here, because they're not staked in the ground. But what they do is allow me to put wood over top so I can or what I can do is put hardwire over top so that they can keep growing. So I'm really excited about that and what's happening here in the grapevine. The grapevine is really plentiful. The grapes are so many. We're going to have a lot of grapes this year, a lot of grapes. So I'm really excited about that. But if you can see them coming in. They are not hiding at all. They are abundant and we are happy for us, right? Because they have got plenty of air. They are just gonna because of the trellising that I've put in place for the grapes, they have plenty of air, plenty of places to hang so that they can grow nicely and I can protect them also by throwing over some wildlife netting just over top of it and keep them safe from the birds. So we're really excited about that. But let's talk about these tomatoes because we have got to get our tomatoes and our um, cucumbers trellised up as well. So I have a bunch here in a bed, and it's like one, 16 plants in this bed, 16 tomatoes in this bed, alongside my basil. And I've got some peppers in here as well. Think I fertilized this last night. Everything's growing up nicely. The stems are very, very strong because of the way that I planted them. Yes, they are. They're doing really, really well. So what we're going to do, I thought was also slipped in here some cucumbers on the backside. So we're going to trellis that using these that are adjustable. And I'm just going to put these up on the fence line up there so that they can just trellis up that vine right there. They can vine up this particular trellis. So that's what we're going to do on that side. This Hugo, before I leave from over here, this mound is going to be a trellis for this is a Hugo Couture bed and it's going to serve as a trellis for this squat over here, but we're also going to let this hedge be a trellis as well because this is a very strong, strong, strong hedge that I covered up part of it with logs so that I could manage it because it was just out of control. So we're going to use these three are going to climb, these three squash are going to climb up this hedge. These cucumbers are going to climb up this trellis, which is hooked to the fence line. You can also use your fence lines as potential trellises as well. And as you can see, these are the ones I use in the winter to cover my plants. But this time in the summer, I'm going to be using them for my cucumbers. So we can put that up there and it can serve as a trellis for my cucumbers. Now, for my tomatoes, what I decided was I had some of these caged, these were quads, which are square like trellises that you can actually open. So I'm going to actually use them. I'm going to put in a little stake here so I can attach it so it has more strength. But then I'm going to trellis these up the tomatoes here up this trellis the long way. So that way I can attach them along the way to these particular, but we got to make this a little more stable. Um, and so we're going to attach this maybe to some stakes to make it a little more stable. And we're going to put those on both sides. So I have three of them, and I'm going to put them on this side. Two of them here, one on each side. Sunflowers are in the middle, so they can just grow straight up. They're pretty strong. And also, your sunflowers can also be stakes. So the fact that I'm putting in sunflowers here can also be a stake for my tomatoes. So keep that in mind when you are growing that tomato. You want to have your vines, your are trap crops. Flower is a trap crop, and you can use that to trellis your tomatoes as well. So over here, we have cucumbers, not cucumbers, but we are going to be planting squash on this run right here. So what I'm thinking of doing before I leave this area, what I'm thinking of doing is using this other tent right here over top of this asparagus bed. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because this asparagus bed is producing, but not very much. This is the second year. And as you can see, the asparagus ferns are coming up. So I decided that since not many asparagus will come up probably this year, I'm going to use this bed as a bed for cubic curcumin, cubaceous fruit like uh, these squash, all different types, and I have some cucumbers in this bed as well. So we're going to stretch out this. I decided we're going to stretch out this tent over this area between these apple trees, and we're going to put that trellis, make that a trellis for these. And as a matter of fact, I might just actually, if I can, I may just trellis this area right here, so that I can also continue growing things up because that would make more sense just to trellis this entire area like I trellis that center area. So that's an idea. But the other thing I was thinking about was how can we use these trees this year as trellises? Because these trees are not fruiting this year. They're new to the space, these apple trees, but they can trellis. You can use them for trellising. So could a bean trellis this? I'm thinking that that would be a great idea to put beans up the use the apple trees as I'll make sure there's no felt a little bite. Want to make sure there's no ants biting me because Lord have mercy, it's hard to recover from an ant bite. Hold on, y'all. Let me clean this camera off. So That's what I'm thinking is put a bean on each side or on maybe 4 and use this tree. I'm gonna check it first to make sure I can because I know I don't want to attract any pests to the tree either. So that's a thought. So that's something that we might do to on this apple run because that's what this is. These are all apples, apple trees up here. So we can use that. But the peaches are already loaded, so I can't bother with those. But I'm going to use my trees. I'm going to use my trees as trellises because why? Because you can. Put a bag there, put something in the bag and trellis it right on up that tree, right? So that's an idea. So let's go over here to, oh, by the way, y'all check a peep my my new blackberries. I added 4 more blackberries here in pots. So because we love blackberries, so we added 4 more there. But let me show y'all this. This is what I'm doing with my this trellis we are going to be using for tomatoes and cucumbers this year. I'm probably going to be moving these peppers because they don't need to trellis like that. We'll just put some poles in the ground for them. But I'm going to put some more tomatoes and cucumbers around here because I want to grow lots of them. So they are growing nicely. And as you can see, we already have tomatoes coming in very nicely on these plants. And cucumbers are also coming in as well. I actually seen a few last night when I was watering. There's one. So it means it's being fertilized. They're being fertilized. Even though I don't see that many bees, the bees have gone back in. But can't wait till we get our own bees because I am a new beekeeper. So here, I just wanted to show y'all this for a second. I don't know if you thought about it, but I just got the brilliant idea of utilizing these shower curtain hangers. So I had these and I was like, I need something to hang my rope from so that I can connect to the vine down here. So I'm going to be staking, looping a rope around the strong part of this vine, bringing it through. I'm going to make a loop down here. Y'all see how strong that vine is, y'all? It is so strong. So I'm going to loop it around the bottom, and then I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to put it onto this curtain. This is a curtain rod you use for your shower curtains. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So that's what we're going to be doing to the tomatoes that we have planted, the cucumbers that we have planted that are growing, and these tomatoes over here. And we're going to add some more tomatoes over here. Now, in this area right here, we have some indeterminate grape tomatoes growing up here. And I think I have just enough space to put a trellis right here. And we're going to see, let's see if we can do it together. We're going to grab, this is the last of my trellises, and we're going to be doing them open cages this time, and we're going to attach them. I don't know if you all can see this, but you probably won't be able to see it, but let me put y'all on the porch. Maybe y'all be able to see it. I got to get a new a new camera stand because I'm sorry, a new camera stand because it's hard to record myself and hold this camera. So this is the bed we're talking about. And my thought is we can put this right between, and it may be too long, right between. That was a perfect plant, y'all. This was a perfect plant. If I had planted these any different, I planted these the tomatoes in the middle because tomatoes um get tall and they will shade out Oh, do y'all know that there's a watermelon in this bed? It is crazy. So, yeah, that's cool. That will work. So, we are going to put this right in the middle of this bed, and we're going to put two stakes on each side to hold it in place. That way, we will have a place because these are indeterminate grapes. And this is what I'm doing this year is putting these between the beds so that I can maximize my space. And I like that. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll stake it. We'll put two stakes on each side. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we will put these are indeterminate grape tomatoes right here. Oops. Indeterminate grapes, and they're already starting to bloom actually. So we want to go ahead and get these staked up. Again, all of my tomatoes are having a really good time. They're really strong stemmed. We're going to go ahead and start removing. Uh-oh, didn't want to do that because that'll cause a wound. Removing these bottom leaves so that they can concentrate on fruit. Um, and not have to worry about trying to supply photosynthesis to these bottom leaves because they aren't producing anything, right? So if they aren't producing anything, go ahead and take them off. You start with wherever your first fruit is, start right there. I'm just taking these off because I want less disease. I don't want the plants to have splatter from watering. So hello. Hey, Andrea. Did you find the document, Andrea? I went back to see if I saw it, and I did see it in the community. So right now, what I am doing is I'm doing trellising. Thinking of trellising ideas for all of my plants that are so we can grow upward. And so we are implementing some creative ideas to grow upward and to use trellises. So this is usually you use these for one plant. Oh, good. Good, good, good. So usually you use these cages for one plant, but I am putting this straight down the middle of this bed so I can stake these are indeterminate grapes. Oh, so okay, so that's what we're doing over here. And over here, we're going to be trellising these up on this tent. We're going to be using all of our resources this year. I didn't have to buy any. This is stake. These tents are always here in my yard. I can cover them. And the good thing is if it gets really, really hot temperatures, like really, really hot, I can cover my tent and they will have some shade. I'll give them some sun in the morning, as the hours that they need, but it'll keep them from because they're in bags and bags get dried out more quickly. But what I've done this year is I've put wood chips on the bottom of my bags to kind of maintain the moisture as it gets down there because the wood chips will maintain moisture, especially the wood chips that I have because they're more than a year old. So, yeah, so I put in these curtain rods, not curtain rods, but these you use for shower curtains, the clips. You can change them on each side. And so these are shower curtains, and I'm going to use these to vine up, to trellis my tomatoes up this because they're already growing and they're beefsteaks, so they're going to be pretty heavy. Yeah, they're pretty solid tomatoes. I just put my stakes in, so we're getting ready to make sure start staking them so that they can, they're very, very strong tomatoes. So we're really excited about that. Other trellising ideas that I have in place right now, again, These are actually bought a bunch of these for the winter time to cover my greens from the ice and so I could keep caught frost cover over them when it was snowing and things. So now I'm going to use them for beans. I'm using that one for peas, but it's looking those peas are looking pretty bad. We're going to pull those because they don't look good at all. I'm going to put some more food over here to create some cover to create because really I'm trying to bunch things this year. I'm bunching a lot so that I can cover the ground. So no ground should be, but this is still a strong plant, so we're gonna just probably just cut it back. This one is doing good. We're getting peas here, so time to pick those. Time to harvest them. Got some greens in this bed too, but these beds are easy to cover if we need to because it's gonna get hot. You know, this is my sun that rises during the morning. This is my morning sun. They get a lot of sun first thing in the morning. And then the sun will begin to rotate over here. So they'll continue to get sun, but more filtered sun because of the trees. And then finally, some of these back here will get a lot of sun because the sun is going to come over here and the sun sets over here. That's why it's so important for us to make sure that we monitor our sun so that we know what's happening where the sun is. What's the climate like for you so that you can plan accordingly? So today, again, um, we're going to be trellising these. I got all the stakes in. We're going to go ahead and put um, the tensions, the ropes in place. I'm going to be using fiber. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I was thinking of using the hemp, which is probably better. But I'm going to go ahead and start staking these up. Stakes are in the ground, in the bags. And then I'm going to be planting a lot, starting some beans. I was really been thinking about my growing, what I'm growing, why I'm growing it, and being extremely intentional about production. Because that's so important. Like we're growing now, not just to eat now, but we're growing to preserve food for the winter. So the foods that we have to really think about for the winter should be foods that are high caloric. By caloric, I mean high in calories. You should be growing potatoes. You should be growing sweet potatoes. My sweet potato bed is prepped and getting ready looking for my slips. I didn't start any slips, but I have some, so I might start some slips today. So that's a good idea. Um, but the point of gardening is to make sure that not only do you have food real time, but that you have food for storage, preservation. What will you eat in the winter if you can't grow food in the winter? So if it's winter time, if it's summertime, the crops that you really should be growing right now should be crops that you need in the winter. And that would be your high caloric, your squashes, your potatoes, your white potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your tomatoes. You can preserve those. You can preserve for, that's why I have a lot of them. You can preserve for sauces, for your pastas and things like that. But I mean, it's something that you actually eat real time because this is the season to eat them. This is high tomato season, right? Your peppers, your onions, which are, a crop that grows now. Like I have to make onions in all of my beds, surrounding all of my beds. I don't know how they'll do, but they are surrounding my beds. I have onions in every single bed as a border. Um, the other thing that you want to grow is lots of beans, lots and lots of beans, because beans is a crop that you can preserve, and also it is a high density protein that you can use in the season when it fills your belly. Like it gives you protein. It gives you protein when there is no meat available. And if you're thinking like I am, like I don't even buy meat that doesn't have bones anymore because I don't know if it is real meat. So because of that, beans are a good source of protein, but so are potatoes, right? Um, I am also growing lots of basil. Excuse me. I went to the dentist yesterday. Clean nice teeth. But I am also growing lots of fruit. Why am I growing lots of fruit? I can preserve fruit. And also, fruit is a good water source when there is no water. I have done water fast, dry fasting. Beyond 72 hours, it took all of heaven to get me through 72 hours of dry fasting. So it's hard. At 72 hours, you are laying uh prostrate before the Lord because you have absolutely nothing left in a dry fast. So think about cabbages. You know, your cabbage is a good uh, vegetable. Why? Because it stores, and it also is a very high. It's a high. It stores well beyond the other vegetables. So, like in your area, check which one does better. So I am growing red cabbage because the green ones, they do okay, but they bolt really quickly. So you have to find a cabbage that grows quickly because when it gets too hot, they for sure are going to bolt. Or be creative in putting your cabbages in places where it's cool. So what I did this year was I have some in bags, a couple in bags, but I also, and they last a long time. You can make kimchi, which is a good vitamin, right? You can put these vegetables in your beds, in your flower beds, like here. So this is a cool spot. I could put a cabbage in there, right? I could put cabbages all along there because this area is gonna be shaded. So it gets, like I said, it will get some sun, but it won't, it'll get enough sun during the morning, but then it will get shade in the afternoon. So you can put vegetables and fruit in your perennial beds. Like begin to think about how you can combine things to get the most out of your space. So even this is a peach tree and it is loaded with fruit. It has a lot of fruit on it, right? A lot. Like it's hiding. This fruit hides under its, and I like that because the birds don't see it. I love these dwarfs. But I also have a blackberry here and I have a fig here. So put the vegetables, merge the vegetables into your flower beds so that you can get the most out of your crop. You can even do that here. This is an evergreen bed, right? This evergreen bed has three huge blackberries among it, right? I put blackberries all in here. Like these are in the ground. These are not, and they're already fruiting. So we got blackberries even in an evergreen bed. What do you use on your plants to keep the squirrels from eating? The squirrels have their own food. So I have oak trees. They hang out back here. The squirrels hang out back here and they have a lot of food. So when the acorns dropped this year, they just look, they all over the ground. They have their own food. You have to make sure that if you have squirrels that you provide a food source for them, right? If you don't want them eating up your food, then provide a food source for them. And this oak tree is huge, it's old, and it drops lots and lots and lots of fruit. This is the one I actually collected 119 um, oak trees from that I'm going to be potting up to sell because people who don't have trees need trees. So if that's you, you can buy one from me. $5 in shipping. I will send it to you. Cause baby, I've got 119 of them, and I'll show you them in case you're interested. But all over this ground is acorns. Provide them some food, you know? I even have fig trees back here. So I have so many fig trees, I can spare one for them, right? I put two in this bed back here, right? These are new, but look at them. They're gonna be prolific. She said, "Yes, I have a big oak in my backyard as well." Yep, but we make sure that they have plenty of food. And if you're worried about your fruit, then put a fruit tree back there for them wherever they are. They aren't going to hang, they don't hang out in the front garden. They hang out back here. And if you can see, they dig hole every morning. I come out here, there's new holes. All they do is bury the food. That's all they want to do is bury the food for the winter time. They want to bury it so they can come back and eat in case I come up here and start messing with their food. Every day I come out here and there's tons of holes, right? This is where my bee apiary is going. I'm a new beekeeper. So I'm building out this area for my bees, and they will come out going straight towards the sun. So they're going to be facing southeast. And yeah, so this is their area, right? So you have to plan what it looks like for you. I have plum trees back here, so they won't bother them. They may, but I mean, it will be enough for them and enough for me. So, I have another thing is these if you plant fruit for it, plant lots of fruit, then you can spare some. These are these are mulberries. They're gonna get big. They already have fruit on them, and they haven't found it yet. They haven't even found the fruit. Look, they haven't found it because mulberries, the fruit is all the way in there. So since I know that, and I know that they like fruit, what I've done is I have one over here that I'm going to be planting for them. So I bought another one because they had them on sale for $14. And baby, if you can get this fruit, get your fruit, y'all. This fruit gonna come back every single year. This is, yeah, bird hotel. Build for them in permaculture. So this is a mulberry tree. So I'm gonna plant it right here because this is where they hang out. This is where they hang out. I need to put one up for them so they leave mine alone, okay? So when you're building, you have to build a permaculture. So while I'm out here, I'm thinking now I'm getting ready to implement water systems for the birds, bird houses, because I love art. So um, that's a thing that I'm doing because I've already put one in place, but I don't think it's tall enough. I don't think they see it. So I'm going to be putting some stakes in, and so that they're higher because I have a lot of birds in my yard. But this is my first bird house that I put in place. So I paint these from a raw state, from, wooden state. I'm going to start making them myself. So you put it in, but I got to put some food in there because they will go in there if I load the food up. Ain't no food in there. That's probably why they ain't came yet. But yeah, so and she has one small bush of hibiscus. Yes, I'm putting in hibiscus. It's not time yet. But because I have to have that to give me the nitric oxides that my body needs to as I get older to keep from having to take blood pressure medicine. So let me see what Andrea's saying. She said, I have one small bush of hibiscus, and for some reason they like to take the flowers off. Yeah, they will because they're attracted to flowers, and that is the fruit. so, so you don't want to put that back there, but you want to put something back there that they can eat immediately. And blackberries and figs and um, what's this other one I just mentioned? The mulberry. They grow the same year. So all of my fruit is producing except for my trees. My trees, except for my peak. my peach trees are the only ones that are fruiting, and I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 peach trees. Only one didn't produce, and that was because of the way the winter affected the fruit. So, yeah, you want to give them something to eat. Create a permaculture so they stay off your food. Have one small bush, okay, and Andrea says, "I have a bird hotel I put up a couple years ago in my backyard, and I haven't had anybody move into it yet. Do you have any tips on that?" No, I don't, but I will look that up for you because I'm just implementing, bird systems and bee systems. I do have, I had, uh, not honeybees, I had carpenter bees drilling into everything, but they still pollinators, right? So I took the wood that they drilled into, but they made their home, and I put it around the garden bed. They still in there, but they coming up from the ground now. They just not living in my face, and every time I go near the post, they, want to attack me or something. But I will look up that because I'm looking into yard makeovers. I have a lot of books, Andrea. So what I did, and I do recommend this for you as well, Andrea, since you are really interested in creating a permaculture for your family, your ecosystem, um, is check out your local used bookstore. That's what I did. I went to my local used bookstore and my books are $2. Hardbacks are $2, and I'm a hardback girl. I will buy those hardbacks, and I love books. I go to sleep reading and looking at pictures, reading books and looking at pictures and dreaming of what my ecosystem could look like, what's possible, right? And I buy the books because we don't know when the internet is not going to do us any favors, right? And because there are things that I like and find joy in that bring me good mental health, which is another thing. It is Mental Health Recovery Month, you all. Do what works for you. Planting in this here garden is a daily mental health therapy for me. I I actually, because I have panic attacks. I started having them years ago, but I didn't know what they were. It's life. Life be doing you, right? And you don't even understand what is happening. But I deviated away from the conversation for a minute because it is Mental Health Month. And I want you to make sure that if you are out there and you are in need, and you find yourself in a place where anxiety is attacking you, it's not yours. Depression is attacking you, it's not yours either. And it doesn't have to be yours. But sometimes we need a little help, right? Because actually take medication for panic attacks to keep them away from me. My brain, I think it's just, I have a brain that's always busy, always doing something, and I have to quiet it down sometimes, right? Meditation, gardening helps with that, but medication helps with that, and prayer helps with that. So I don't want you out there thinking that, oh, you can pray this away. Sure, you can, but baby, if you need some medicine, please get you some, okay? Okay, Andrea says, okay, about, let me get back to the birds. Um, get you some books, Andrea, because like I said, the things that I love doing for my family, that I am doing for my family and my community to help my community and to share research and to share ideas is books. Lots and lots of books. I buy books so I can have materials to read. Andrea says, I have a bird feeder and a bird bath that I tend to make sure they have food and water. You have to do the same for bees, Andrea. So bees, though, can drown in the water. So you want to put rocks in theirs. You want to put the water, but you want to have rocks that they can stand on, that they can just, grab a little water. They can walk around and just drink a little, that they won't drown when they get to the water source because they will drown. Okay. Um, Andrea says, I can attest to the panic attacks. I was diagnosed with panic attacks with temporary. paraplegia, where I couldn't move for 45. Honey, let me tell you something. And I don't know where it come from. It can come from the stress of life, but I had so much going on in life, raising children, married, yeah, all of it. You can live a very happy life, but let's just be real. Things be happening in life that other people be doing. People be dropping stuff off at your house. You understand? And if you don't have the proper coping skills to put it on God's moving bus, it can affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, in all the ways. Okay. So I am a big proponent of getting well, and this garden is one of those tools. If you are out there and you are someone that is struggling in that area and you need something healthy to do, start something. Start right where you are, because care for something, okay? Caring for things makes life so much easier, right? And sometimes that's just caring for a plant. It don't talk back, but baby, the more you nurture it, the more it will grow, the more it will yield for you. Think about that. Like, even if you have had um a tough time raising children, a tough time in marriage, a tough time in life growing up, you can shift what that looks like for you by giving love away, even if it's to a plant. Plants don't talk back. I am very much an introvert. People think that I am an extrovert. I'm an extrovert who shows up. My extrovert behaviors show up when I need to. But for most of the time, I enjoy this. I enjoy going out when I feel like it, inviting people into my life when I feel like it, setting up a time to speak to people when I feel like it. Because I enjoy the solitude of my mind. I enjoy um, listening to the things that are running through my head and not being influenced by what other people think or say all the time. Sometimes we can spend so much time thinking about what others think of us, and we can be influenced by the things that people say because we're not taking control of what we're thinking, right? Andrea says, yes, I had a very rough childhood and I had a lot of problems with my sisters, daughters, mom. Over the last 16 years, I had to step in and do things for her like her mother was supposed to. And that is hard. And it's really hard. But a person who cares, a person who has love to give away, everyone has love to give away. Sometimes, if we focus on doing what God has called us to do, which is love, then He will take care of the things that we're struggling with while we're taking care of His business. You see, standing in purpose, doing the things that He requires us to do, right? She says she definitely caused a lot of stress in my life out of the years she had GPS trackers on us, woo, and would have followed me and not put me on pickup list every year and had to bring, oh wow, yeah, that's hard. Motherhood is hard. Motherhood is hard. You hear me? Because that's when it all began for me. You know, you can train them up in the way that they should go, that they won't stray far from it when they become adults, but they make decisions. What we have to understand is those decisions aren't ours. We cannot blame ourselves. But now, sometimes we need to go back and look at uh, how we affected their lives, though, because maybe we need to be doing some repenting. Maybe we need to be doing some, God, I'm sorry. Maybe we need to be doing some um, forgiveness, asking for forgiveness. I know I have, because I wasn't a perfect parent, but none of us are. And whoever says they are lying. They're lying. Because parenting is not easy, baby. It's not. You want the best of all possible worlds, but you ain't never done that before, right? And if you have had a hard childhood growing up, then you got a lot of things to shake yourself that you don't want to repeat with your own children. And sometimes, if you're not healthy and if you're not getting the help that you need, you can inflict harm. The same harm that was inflicted on you, you can inflict on your children. And that is Yes and amen. That's what you can do. And so sometimes we got to stop and, you know, this Sunday is Mother's Day, and I also, 18 years ago this Sunday, had my son. Congratulations, he made you a mom. I love being a mom. I do. I love nurturing and loving on my children and teaching them new things. I share with my daughter every night. She called me last night. She said, Mom, we used to talk all the time. Where have you been? So she called me last night. I said, Girl, your husband. You got a husband. And that's okay, you know. But we do take time to talk. All my children live away from the home except for one who's a teacher. And, I have to nurture her. She's dealing with 75 kids a day and bringing home their demons, you know? Um, so it's hard out here, man. It is. It's not the easiest thing. The world is a place. That's why God tells us to be in the world, but do not be of it. Because, baby, Andrea, check out these new blackberries I put in the trash can. So every time somebody looking for a pot, I am so creative. I found these trash cans and I put holes in the bottom of them. It was $5. The pots are expensive, but this is a pot too. If you make it one, it's a trash can. $5. These are some blackberries. I didn't want to put any more in the ground because I have put so much in the ground already. So I just said, well, let me put some in the pots. And the reason why is because my grandsons are coming. And baby, they love some berries. Strawberry, blackberry, blueberry, whatever kind of berry. They love 'em. So I'm ready for them. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. And I know I strayed away from the trellising, but use your trees as trellises. Use your old, be creative. Use your winter equipment as trellises in case you don't want to put in permanent fixtures. You don't have to. Use them trellises. Use these systems. Use things like this cage. This cage, like I said, usually is for one tomato, but I stretched it, kept it open, and I'm using it for this entire bed. The entire bed. As a matter of fact, you can create these. You can put a post and another post, tighten it, that stakes into the ground. I bought these really cool stakes. Let me show you. So, look, my corn came up. My corn is here. I hope I don't have problems with raccoons because of this, but this isn't sweet corn. They like sweet corn. This isn't sweet. This is popcorn. Um, these stakes right here. So this stake can hold, like I use for the blackberry to keep it off the ground. So I'm gonna have to buy some more because I'm trying to keep my blackberries from dragging on the ground. Um, so the pests aren't bothering them like this right here. See, this is growing up tall. It's almost as tall as the peach tree. This is a 1 year blackberry. This is brand spanking new. And look at it. It's yielding fruit. And it will yield right on through the summer. It'll keep growing. It's going to get so big. It's going to be big and bushy out here next year. But these stakes right here, these stakes have a point on the bottom, and you can stake them right in the ground. So what I will do is put this right here, pressure it down into the ground, and then I will tie this to the stake, which can't be pulled out the ground so that it supports these indeterminate grape tomatoes. And I'm glad I thought about it this year. Something said plant them in the middle because they're gonna get tall and they're going to shade your vegetables. What I really should have done though was not put peppers on this side. I put I should have just kept it on that side so that the sun, they would all get the sun that they needed. So I will be thinking about that next year because see, this can be removed. It's not permanent. I can shift it and move it back here and puts things in the front of it because the sun, like I said, is southeast. That morning sun will be up here until about it's already 11 o'clock. So this particular plot gets sun all day because it's going to get the sun that's coming from here at night, in the evening, in the afternoon. So it's going to keep these three, four beds, these four beds will get sun all day. And this one and this one. Those will get shaded back there. I have some watermelons back there, so some peppers, but that's my audit for today. That's what we're doing for today. We got a bunch of flowers over here, well, that we want that are growing up. This is a seed bed. I'm probably put some sunflowers over here. It's taking a long time for stuff to come up, but we had some good rain. I think I'm gonna plant some Thai basil in here because they get really big and the bees love those. And we have all these cucumbers and tomatoes, so I definitely want them around this area so that we can get it going on. Some more. Look at this. Some more blackberries. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Plant the fruit because it bears the fruit. If you have not got blackberries yet, get blackberries. If you don't have, because they are growing right now, okay? And they grow. Raspberries, they are growing. Get you some that because they come back every single year. All right. That's not something that yeah, and it will grow all summer. Well, some of them, the raspberry won't, but these blackberries will give me berries all summer long. I love them. Anyway, y'all, we were talking about trellises. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful out today. This is my cool of the month. This is my cool area where I sit. I've got these things to plant today. Some more basil. I got some 100 cherry grape. I got to get a bunch of these. I have a bunch of these that I need to plant up. I'm planting three to a bag uh, because I have tomatoes everywhere. But we are eating these this year, so I love. These are the great. These are small. These are 1 inch pop in your mouth like grapes. Do I grow any garlic? I have not. I tried growing garlic last year and was very unsuccessful, but that's because I didn't put a lot of effort. That's the only reason why. I didn't put a lot of effort in it, but what I do is I have a stockpile of garlic powder and things because I stock up on things because I know that the things ain't gonna be around if we don't if we ain't doing what we need to do. So I'm going to try garlic. I just haven't been successful. I'm building three more beds. They will go, two of them will go in the center of my orchard. I'll show you that area. That's something that we're doing this week. And they're going to be this type of bed, these beds. They're small, but they're long. And so I'm going to be making three of those to go in this orchard area. So I will have a bed running down the middle of this orchard. That way I can utilize that space. Um, I'm going to control my blackberries going this way. I'm trying to grow them this way. Yeah, we'll see, but I'm going to put these beds right down cuz see these are figs. They may come out here, but I can cut them back, but these are going to grow prolific. They're going to grow a lot. So I'm going to put them close to the trees, let them run right down here. So I'll have these beds, but I'll also have walking space because um I need walking space. I don't like to have stuff on top of me, or growing on top of me. And I'm actually gonna have to cut back this this is a blackberry. This is one blackberry. This is the first blackberry I grew. And look at her. This is what my land is gonna look like because I have so many blackberries, but I love blackberries. They grow. They're gonna give me water. They're juicy. Oh, the bees, look at that. Thank you. Thank you for coming. They're here. They love the flowers. If you give them flowers, and that's why I said if you have blackberries all over, the bees will come. They're gonna come. Just absolutely beautiful. This is one blackberry, y'all. So imagine that, all the blackberries that I have growing like that all over here. So I'm creating a space that just comes back every year. Lavender's about to bloom. These are um, some new flowers I'm trying. Cosmos. Have you ever had cosmos? There's a lot of them. I just threw some seeds in there in these pots. That's why I said no empty pots. No, I have a no empty pot syndrome this year. Flowers will be everywhere. Just throw some seeds in a pot. They'll grow, even if it's crimson clover. Um, Crimson clover has some of the most beautiful leaves on them, beautiful flowers, blooms. They're red. And I put those at the base of all of my trees. Like this is how they're coming in. See this? This is called crimson clove, and they have red blooms. And they also feed my tree. They um, they provide nitrogen to the tree. A group, a lot of crimson. It's not coming in over here as well, but maybe I need to water it more. Looks like I dropped some. Looks like I might have dropped. I heard a bee over here. Looks like I might have dropped some of those cosmos in there too, it seems. So yeah, that's what we're doing. But it's growing up just the way I want it to. No, here's another one. This is crimson clove around the base. So it's feeding my tree. I needed to find a way to feed the tree naturally without fertilizers, without synthetics. So you just throw some crimson clove down there and it's going to feed that tree. And it's also going to give you some beautiful red blooms. Also, another great fertilizer for your garden is the what is this called? Mm, comfrey. This is comfrey, and it comes back every year. So, and it grows better in the ground. So, yeah. But grow, 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 everybody. And if you have questions, join our community. Please subscribe and join our community. And, you might have a question. I might not have the answer right then, but I'll dig in the research and check it out to see what I can find because we are also a herb community growing lots and lots and lots of herb. I have a sage bed this year so I can turn sage into medicine, take it back because sage is a great medicinal crop for your lungs and colds. And so I have a whole bed dedicated to um, sage right here. This is all sage. This is a Hugel Couture bed, so it's full of logs and green matter and potassium matter and phosphorus matter and all kinds of things. So this is sage, and it's also going to feed. It also comes back every year. Both the sage and the chives both come back every single year. But what I have learned is that you should plant soft-bodied plants together. So like this chive is a soft body. This is a woody herb. So if I was going to plant something, even though it goes okay with it, sage is woody, chives are soft, thyme is soft, um, lemon balm. Those are all soft. No, lemon balm is not soft. That's a also a woody. but plant woody together, like your rosemary and sage together. Like, so I'm creating also, beds of this stuff so that we have it grows back like I said, it's got to grow back every year for me. Every year. Because what we're not going to do is keep spending money, right? This is a bed of marigolds. I throw the seeds in there. These are my seeds from last year. They're starting to grow. I decided I wasn't going to buy marigolds this year. I was going to let them grow because things are expensive. So I'm using my own seeds. You harvest your seeds. This is a Brussels sprout seeds. You see that? I saved one Brussels sprout that's going to seed, and I saved the seeds. We have to be smart growers. We're living in a time where everything's trying to take our money, right? So we're going to get all these beans in the ground today because we're going to plant them under the trees so the trees can be their support system. I'm going to plant up some more of this basil. I promised myself I would get this stuff in the ground. I just have to now think about where it's going to go and do it. But the basil, here's a thought I want to share with you all too, because basil is a slow grower, right? If I'm going to invest, what I did invest in this year was I invested in basil. So uh, every time they put out a flats of basil, I went and I bought the whole flat because I don't have to grow it, right? And I need a lot of it. I need it everywhere. Why? Because it's a good crop that covers your garden. It keeps the bugs away. Some of the bugs, not all of them, some of them. But if you plant these things like your marigolds, your basil, your Thai basil, you plant those things together, you have less pest pressure. In my baskets, I put lemon balm, peppermint, so they can just hang among the grapes, because pests don't like them strong smells. So if you put them in hanging baskets and put them all around the garden, then you will have a lot of aromatic things going on, because these bugs, they go by scents and smells. And so if you cover your garden in a way like this peppermint right here, I can split this into several peppermints, and I'm going to do it today. I'm going to plant it. I'm going to separate it because this is prolific. This is one plant, but it's going to be many because it roots itself. And I mean, it don't take much. It will grow everywhere. And you could put it into pots, and I can hang it all around my garden. I can hang it on my trellises to keep pests away. They don't like that. It's strong. You have to add these things. So, anyway, that's all I got today, y'all. This is Dr. Eve. Wanted to just check in with you guys and talk to you about trellising ideas. And remember, it is Mental Health Recovery Month. If gardening makes you happy, love on some plants. Love on something. Do something for you. Do something for your family. Focus on those things and not the things of this world. I guarantee you, you will begin to gain a different perspective, because God told us, he made it clear to us in the beginning. He made a garden, and he sat Adam and Eve in that garden, and he told them to cultivate, be in the world, but do not be of it. Okay? Peace and blessings to you all. I hope you have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. I'll see you in the next video. And until next time, bye for now.